Dear millennials, it has become common rhetoric that 50% of marriages end in divorce. However, that's not entirely true because according to the most latest statistics, it's about 41%, which is still not very good. Let's just put this information into perspective. The success rate of your marriage is quite literally a coin flip. 41% of people between the ages of 18 and 34 use Snapchat. So it's around the same level of difficulty to stay married to the person that you love than it is to use Snapchat every single day. Isn't that just sad? In a 2008 survey, 50% of British teenagers thought that Sherlock Holmes was a real person. We are more likely to believe in a completely fictional character than we are in ourselves. In the 2015-16 season, Steph Curry hit 33 of 49 field goals between 28 feet and half court. So that's about 8.5 meters plus. He hit that 67%. An almost unconceivable long-distance shot is easier to do than staying married. Think about that for a second. 65% of all Rolls-Royce motor cars that were ever built are still on the road today. So cars that were built literally 100 years ago are in much better shape than half of the marriages. However, marriage rates and divorce rates are lower than they were in the 90s, 80s, and in the early 2000s. And we can go through a very, very long list as to reasons why these have gone lower. But let's be honest here. It's because we think that finding the right person to spend our lives with is difficult. And it is. But not because the dating pool is bad, but because our mental approach to dating is terrible. I'm not a marriage counselor, and I've never been married. However, I am a keen observer of people. And I was speaking to a colleague about my analogy about how millennials do relationships. What I noticed with our generation is that the way we date is exactly like the way we use our applications on our phone. Let me explain. We go onto the app store, we look at the app that we want, the one that looks nice. Just like we go ahead and find a person that we find cute and attractive. And we spend X amount of time just downloading the app, which we want to do as quickly as possible. It's comparable to getting to know each other using the app and enjoying it for an X amount of time. And suddenly we get bored of the game, or we've completed it, the app isn't useful anymore, it has too many bugs, there's a better app that does exactly the same thing, or there isn't any more space for this app on your phone. Then what do you do with the app? We delete it. We delete it from our phones. And we do the exact same things to people that we date. We enjoy the relationship at the beginning. We have tons of fun. Problems arise. After the initial honeymoon stage is over, we get bored of that person. We get too busy. It's hard to meet up. We found someone, quote unquote, better. Or you guys are starting to have way too many problems. And what do we do with that person? We delete that person from our lives and completely disregard them. And don't act like you have never done this. You've left romantic partners on red before, or you've ghosted somebody. I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. But this isn't our fault. This behavior was taught to us actually from our parents. They're the ones who saw dating like shopping. They were the first generation to truly experience the modern mall as we know it. They are the first people to know and acknowledge the power of choice. Our generation knows the power of choice and callousness. I'm not saying that don't play the field or don't date. I'm saying stop using the excuse of finding the right person. Instead, go in with the right mindset. My father always says to me that, and basically anybody he talks to, that there is no such thing as a perfect person. So stop looking for one. My uncle told me to pick 5 traits that you want in a significant other and stick to them. Only 5. The rest and anything more is fluff. The right mindset is to find the traits that you like in a person and stick to that person. Once you've done that, or make sure that that person doesn't have any traits that you can't live with, like For me personally, a woman who doesn't understand, doesn't forgive, or let things go is just simply not an option for me. But guys, don't make it superficial or trivial. So the fact that they don't look cute in an Instagram post doesn't count. Don't sing while in the shower. Don't respond to your text immediately doesn't count. Then keep the communication genuine and authentic from there on. Solve your issues and let things go. My grandparents got married in their early 20s after seeing each other only twice. Now they've been married for over 50 years. My parents were friends and a couple for 4 years before they finally tied the knot. Now my parents are celebrating 24 years of marriage, and both couples will tell you that their significant other isn't perfect, but they will say that the relationship was well built because they took the time to build it and didn't discard the person on a whim. Cars enthusiasts will know that it takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce and 13 hours to build a Toyota. Which one would you rather drive? Then commit to the right dating mindset. Then commit to building a foundation to your relationship. Create something worthwhile with somebody. Because do you want to be part of the 41%? Or would you rather be driving a Rolls Royce that is your relationship for the next 50 years?